and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon.
Yeah, read the intro and then I'll do the first article. And then you can do the next one. That'll give you time to kind of make sure. So are you reading the one about places that are open on Christmas Day?
The time is 10 a.m. Thank you for tuning in to Blind Community Thrift Store Radio Reading Service. My name is Pat, and I'm here this morning with Gay. We invite you to listen to our broadcasts both live and on demand. Our live sessions are available on the Blind Community Thrift Store YouTube channel, Monday to Friday, between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. each week. Additionally, you can access on-demand content through the Audio Reader Network, which offers a wide range of audio materials for the visually impaired community. To explore content from the Audio Reader Network, please visit www.reader.ku.edu. The site provides details about accessing content via Amazon Alexa, Audio Reader Network mobile app, and information on receiving a radio to listen to the broadcast by KSMU Radio. All broadcasts are played over KSMU's subcarrier airwaves at 67 kilohertz on 91.1 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Contact Audio Reader Network for information on receiving a pre-programmed radio. And now over to Gay.
Our first article this morning comes from the Springfield News-Leader and reporter Claudette Riley. SBS Jordan Valley partnering for mobile health clinics at schools. A pilot program between Springfield Public Schools and Jordan Valley Community Health Center will expand access to health services for students. Launching in 2026, students in 11 schools will be able to receive medical, dental, and vision care on site through mobile clinics during the school day. The pilot aims to reduce critical barriers to healthcare, including transportation, and minimize how much time families miss school or work. We are excited about this collaborative effort to connect our students and their families with needed services, said Superintendent Gretna Latham in a news release. The partnership represents a strong investment in long-term well-being and academic success of Springfield's children. The services provided by Jordan Valley Community Health Center not only keep our students healthy and ready to learn, but they also significantly reduce the time out of the classroom that is typically associated with doctor's visits. The participating schools include Campbell Elementary Childhood Center, Bowerman, Boyd, Fremont, Truman, Watkins, Weller, and William Elementary Schools, the Academy of Exploration, Reed Middle School, Pleasant View K-8 School, and Hillcrest High School. We are looking forward to developing relationships with these families and supporting their healthcare needs both now and in the future, said Matthew Stinson, CEO of Jordan Valley Community Health Center. By using our mobile clinics, parents and guardians will not need to take time off work or worry about getting their children to a provider outside of their neighborhood. This month, eligible families received information packets about the services offered and how they can schedule an appointment for their children. When students are healthy, they are ready to learn, said Leanne Neal, Director of Student Health Services for SPS. Treating minor illnesses, addressing dental pain, or correcting vision issues directly impacts a student's ability to concentrate, participate, and succeed academically. Students with dental or medical Medicaid and medical insurance are eligible for the services. There is no cost to the student or their household for these services. The scope of the services provided include pediatric care, immunizations, physical exams and sports physicals, rapid strep and flu test, developmental screenings and wellness checks, dental care, full exams, cleanings, fluoride, sealants, x-rays, restoration and extractions, and vision care, including eye exams and fitting for glasses.
Well, there's another article on health. Cox Health rehab hospitals plan to open. They're in late January 2026. Under construction since August 2024, an inpatient rehabilitation hospital in Ozarks is expected to open next month, Cox Health officials say. A January 21 ribbon-cutting ceremony is planned for the Cox Health Rehabilitation Hospital, a 63-bed facility at 1660 West Garton Road, said Ashley Cassad, Senior Vice President and President of Cox Health Springfield Hospitals. The project is a joint venture between Cox Health and Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania-based Select Medical Holdings Corp. KCI Construction Company is a general contractor for the roughly 63,000 square foot, one-story building on 8 acres of land. Omaha, Nebraska-based HDR Inc. is the project architect. The facility will be part of Select Medical's national network of more than 30 medical rehabilitation hospitals, which include Cleveland Clinic Rehabilitation Hospital and Baylor Scott and White Institution for Rehabilitation, according to the past Springfield Business Journal reporting. The construction will wrap up at the end of this month, and then in the month of January, essentially that is when we'll have the various surveys to be able to actually have occupancy, as well as filling the space with the equipment and beds, Cassad said, declining to disclose the project's cost. Mike McAllister, Regional Vice President with Select Medical, said project work is on pace for a planned January 27th opening. It's progressing well, and we're excited how it's coming along, he said. In consolidation, the hospital will serve as a consolidation of rehabilitation units Cox Health and Select Medical operates in the Ozarks, officials said. Discussion about the partnership began in early 2022, according to past reporting. Select Specialty Hospital currently operates a long-term care acute care hospital facility in Springfield at 1630 East Primrose Street, which it opened in early 2008, according to SBJ archives. McAllister said it launched its 16-bed acute rehab unit comprising nearly 12,000 square feet in the building in early 2023. Cox Health currently has 34 beds at the Meyer Orthopedic and Rehabilitation Hospital inpatient unit in Springfield, and an additional 13 beds in the acute rehabilitation unit at Cox Medical Center, Branson, according to the healthcare system officials. The 2 rehab units that Cox Health operates today and the 1 unit that Select Medical operates today are consolidating into this 163-bed state-of-the-art hospital. So we're not increasing beds in the community, McAllister said in an August 2024 SBJ interview. Cassad said the property and building is owned by CMC Ozarks Rehabilitation, LLC, which serves as the name of the joint venture between Cox Health and Select Medical. Cassad said the intention for taking 3 units and relocating them to one facility is to have more efficient staffing and provider coverage. We're able to consolidate into a single location and really be able to offer a great new facility with all private beds, and then continue to have the expertise and technology in a new space, she said. While not boosting the health system's rehab presence in Springfield area, McAllister said the facility maintains the existing bed count and places services all under one roof. Really, the benefit of consolidating and partnering with a health system like Cox Health is to gain some physician collaboration, some efficiencies from a staffing perspective, and leverage those synergies and opportunities, he said. Select Medical is expected to operate the rehab hospitals as the managing partner, with the officials noting the partnership will be structured as a 51-49 relationship, according to the past SBJ reporting. Cassad said the hospital administrator will report to a board of directors composed of Cox Health and Select Medical representatives, while the board and hospital leadership are determined. Officials say they are not ready to announce those decisions until closer to opening day. Staffing activity. As for staffing, Cassad said there will be a total of 120 full-time equivalent positions at the hospital upon its opening. Among those who will work at the facility are physicians, nurses, respiratory therapists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, recreational therapists, and dietitians, as well as business operations staff such as admissions, human resources, finance, medical, records, and plant operations. We have staff members from both Cox Health and Select's current locations that have opted to move over and work for the joint venture, she said. We also will be having some positions posted for additional staff. McAllister said he estimates around 90% of the Cox Rehabilitation Hospital staff will transfer from existing units to the two health systems. I think almost every single person has now landed either at the joint venture or within their new role that they'll take on at Cox, Cassad said. Staff size will likely increase as the patient volume grows, McAllister said. There's a ramp up with opening a new hospital, he said. While it's 63 beds, we go through various inspections and licensure surveys and provider centers for Medicare and Medicaid services, surveys, and so forth. So our staffing will build as we complete those and start to take care of more patients. Both Cassad and McAllister say now existing rehab unit spaces in the trio of Cox Health and Select Medical facilities will be utilized once the new hospital opens remains under consideration. We are currently doing a master facilities planning project, Cassad said. We expect that we'll know more in the coming months, but at this point we have not determined how that space will be used. Cassad says she's excited to move into operational planning of the transition to the hospital as construction nears completion. This project has come along very quickly, so I'm really impressed with the teams that have been building the facility and how quickly the contractors and subcontractors have been able to complete the work. Now back to Gay.
This article comes from the Springfield Daily Citizen and reporter Jack McGee. First responders dispute concerns over East Sunshine medians impacting response times. The first picture shows the various maps for all the different intersections that come into Sunshine Street. Greene County Sheriff Jim Arnott's concerns over proposed medians on East Sunshine Street and their potential impact on emergency response times aren't shared by all public safety officials, including Springfield's police and fire chiefs. In an interview with the Daily Citizen, Police Chief Paul Williams said he is a believer in the safety benefits the Missouri Department of Transportation says the changes would bring. Williams also disagrees that the medians would slow down first responders and questioned why the sheriff decided he needed to inject himself into that situation, since the sheriff's office does not typically respond to crashes. My position, the city's position, which is Public Works and the fire department, as we talked about, left-hand turns, anything we do to reduce those types of crashes is absolutely a traffic safety plus, Williams said. I'm not concerned about response times. I'm not concerned about officers having to go down 3 more blocks and come around. I'm not concerned about people making improper U-turns and causing crashes. Avoiding left turns on major thoroughfares is a huge issue, continued Williams. While the city of Springfield has no direct role in the project, as MoDOT has jurisdiction of Sunshine east of Glenstone Avenue, city staff is supportive of the proposal in its current form. Williams, who was born and raised in Detroit, said he was accustomed to major thoroughfares to have medians. I understand what MoDOT's doing, Williams said. I think they put a lot of time and effort into it. I saw the revised proposal, which they made a lot of changes. It's very limited. I think if we're looking at making things safer for the motoring public, this is of paramount importance. MoDOT is planning to install roughly 3/4 of a mile of raised median on the higher crash rate segments of Sunshine between Glenstone and Blackman Road as part of a larger project to improve the safety and operation of the corridor. First proposed in 2023, the project has been revised following public input to include fewer medians and more designated U-turns. In addition to the medians, MoDOT is planning to resurface Sunshine between Glenstone and Blackman, install new sidewalks on the north side of Sunshine, and upgrade existing sidewalks on the south side of the road, improve signals at intersections, remove 4 driveways and partial driveways, and install 9 new pedestrian crossings. Construction is slated to begin in 2026. In 2027, MoDOT plans to continue resurfacing eastward on Sunshine, also known as Route D, between Blackman and Route 125. In total, the multifaceted project is estimated to cost $12.9 million. Arnott outlined his concern with the proposed medians to the Springfield City Council in its December 9th workshop during the 20-minute window allotted to the business community following presentations by MoDOT and city staff. Despite the reduction in medians, many business owners and stakeholders along the East Sunshine Corridor remain staunchly opposed to the project in its current form, which they fear could negatively impact business and pose a safety issue. The proposed medians, which would cover about 18% of the 4.3-mile stretch of Sunshine, are intended to help manage access and limit uncontrolled left turns. By replacing portions of the two-way left turn lane, also known as the middle turn lane, with medians, MoDOT aims to reduce the number of conflict points and thereby crashes. The accessing management strategy for East Sunshine is to separate and reduce access points so that turning and crossing movement occurs at fewer locations, MoDOT Project Manager Christy Bachman said at the December 9th meeting. This involves the combination of closing redundant driveways and installing raised medians. It is widely accepted that medians are the most effective access management strategy on high-volume urban routes. They create better traffic flow, and they have been shown to reduce crash rates and injury rates. According to MoDOT, the proposed medians are expected to reduce the crash rate by 37% and reduce the injury rate by 48%. Currently, the crash rate on East Sunshine is more than twice the state average and significantly higher than that of Springfield's other 5-lane arterials, according to the data provided by the city. Arnott, however, suggested that the 37% figure fails to reflect the expected annual reduction to the total crash rate, as only 34% of accidents on East Sunshine over the last 5 years occurred in the middle lane, and that's based on Springfield Police Department's data that Arnott compiled at the request of Mayor Jeff Schrag, made available during the roundtable discussion of nearby business owners. So now you're going to take 37% of the 34% is like 12.5% of all traffic accidents in a 5-year period, Arnott told the Daily Citizen. Arnott suggested that the actual reduction in crashes could be even lower, noting that he hasn't had a chance to drill down further into the data. However, the proposed medians could reduce the number of potential conflict points and, consequently, crashes in multiple lanes, according to the city. Brett Foster, Assistant Director of the city's Department of Public Works, demonstrated how replacing the middle lane with a median can significantly reduce the number of conflict points. If you figure there's 8,000 to 10,000 cars a day in each of those lanes, that's a lot of opportunity for conflict and for crashes, Foster said. pointing to 3 driveways in close proximity on a 5-lane road with a 2-way left turn lane. So when we manage those left turns, look at what happens here. That goes down from 74 to 15 conflict points. So that's an 80% reduction in the potential for crashes just by making one change. That article is reflected in 2 different graphs that are shown with 3 driveways versus the medians, taking that from 74 conflict points to 15 conflict points. Additionally, Federal Highway Administration data shows that 74% of access-related crashes are the result of uncontrolled left turns. While recognizing that he is not an expert in the matter, Schrag said he was willing to look at other data outside of what was provided by MoDOT and therefore welcomed Arnott to review Springfield Police Department's traffic crash data. Arnott said, "Well, you know, I could dig into that," I said. "That would be great if you would," Schrag said. "I haven't seen the results. I know he brought stuff. I just haven't had time to look at it yet." Emergency responders will be unable to drive over medians, Arnott said. In addition to disputing the purported safety benefits of the proposed medians, Arnott has also expressed concern that they could have pose a safety issue, including delaying response times for sheriff's deputies and other first responders. Law enforcement emergency personnel, fire trucks, are not going to be able to climb over an 8-inch median, and so your big fire trucks are going to have to go down. They're going to have to turn around at the biggest intersection that they can come to and come back the other way, Arnott said. Ambulance, emergency first responders all will need to do the same thing. Arnott also suggested that the proposed medians would prompt more drivers to make illegal U-turns, leading to more traffic crashes. Our motorists are going to be forced to go down and either make U-turns in the designated areas, or they'll need to go through a business parking lot, Arnott said at the December 9th meeting. So I have a concern of more traffic accidents happening from people doing U-turns where they shouldn't. The proposed medians will accommodate legal U-turns in designated areas, some of which MoDOT added to the project in response to stakeholders' feedback. Bachman said Federal Highway Administration studies show turning left with a U-turn is 25% safer. Arnott is also concerned that the proposed medians could attract panhandlers, noting that panhandling already occurs on most medians across Springfield. "I know it's unique, maybe to my opinion, but it gives the transient people another place to stand," Arnott told the Daily Citizen, reiterating a point he made to the city council. And if you look at the other places in the city where they said that they've done it, North Glenstone, what do we have there? People standing in the median. It is a public safety hazard. Like Williams, Springfield Fire Chief David Pennington does not believe the medians will have a meaningful impact on responder times and will instead enhance safety along the East Sunshine Corridor. Based on my review, the medians as proposed do not create an access limitation or response delay of concerns for emergency services delivery to residential or commercial properties in the projected areas, Pennington told the Daily Citizen via email. This project and others like it can provide an engineering solution that results in meaningful public safety benefits, including the reduction of certain types of vehicle crashes. The only potential concern, Pennington said, is access to fire hydrants, which he said can and should be addressed as part of the project. If additional fire hydrants are not incorporated into the project consistent with fire code requirements, it could result in avoidable delays in fire suppression operations, Pennington said. This is a design coordination issue that can and should be addressed as part of it. Edie Burking, Media Relations and Communications Manager for Mercy Springfield, said the hospital system's EMS director also doesn't have any concerns about the proposed medians, noting that they deal with medians so often already that they have systems in place to plan their response routes accordingly. Cox Health did not respond to requests for comment by deadline for publication. Schrag declined to disclose his position on the matter, emphasizing that the proposed medians are part of the MoDOT project. My deal is that it's MoDOT's project and a MoDOT street, Schrag said. Whether they want to hear from us or not, it's not a City of Springfield project. If the City Council was unanimous in opposition to the project, Schrag said, MoDOT may take that into consideration, but that it wouldn't necessarily result in any changes. Even if opposition is present on council, it is not unanimous, as Councilmember Brandon Jensen expressed support for the current iteration of the project. While reluctant to reveal his stance on the project, Schrag acknowledged MoDOT's efforts to pare down the project in response to community feedback. I guess, like any other type of situation, whenever there are two sides, if they can mutually come to some agreement on stuff, that's always in everybody's benefit, Schrag said. Again, that report was by Jack McGee from the Springfield Daily Citizen.
Also from the Springfield Daily Citizen, MSU Board learns more about budget cuts and why reserve funds were not used. A week after meeting with the Missouri State University campus community, administrators elaborated on budget issues Thursday with the university's Board of Governors. The administration explained why reserves were used for other projects in recent years, but not used to meet this shortfall. University officials explained earlier this month that a decline in degree-seeking students has led to an anticipated shortfall of about $7.1 million. Missouri State's record-setting fall enrollment was fueled by a dual-credit students. During the town hall meeting on December 5th, officials explained that such dual-credit students bring in only about $400 on average, while degree-seeking students bring in about $4,000. Of that $7.1 million, $3.2 million is a true shortfall based on actual enrollment numbers, says Matt Morris, Vice President of Administration and Finance. A shortfall of $3.9 million is expected to result from declined enrollment in the spring semester. Enrollment doesn't go up in the spring, Morris said during a meeting Thursday of the board's Finance and Facilities Committee. We take the fall enrollment on census, then we average the percent of enrollment decline from fall to spring from the prior 3 years. That's what gives us the projected shortfall of roughly $4 million. Morris told the board that those cuts have been made primarily from removing vacant positions that had not yet been filled. About 80% of the university's budget is spent on salaries and benefits. He said no layoffs or furloughs have been announced at the university. For the current fall semester, 29 such positions were eliminated, Morris said during the meeting. In order to account for the university's anticipated shortfall for the spring semester, Morris said that 18 unfulfilled positions will be cut. I would say that many had already kept a lot of their operational expenses pretty tight, and so it really does lean on the position side of the house. Morris said, labor has been the focus. In June, the board approved a budget of the current school year with $352,382,402 in revenues and $339,171,729 in expenses. Because the drop in enrollment was anticipated, the university froze about $3 million in those expenses before the budget year began. Once spring's enrollment census is taken, the university will know exactly how short it will be, Morris said. Reserves recently used for investments, but not for the shortfall. Morris went into more detail about the university's reserve funds and what they had been used for over the past few years. The university's reserves have fluctuated for the last 13 years. Currently, they set at about $60.1 million, Morris said, but those funds are not exactly free to be used for anything. The board has a policy of keeping about $50 million in reserve in order to handle about 3 months of employees' salaries and benefits. The $60.1 million is also kept in 3 different funds, $11.1 million for presidential use, $32.1 million for academic affairs, and $16.9 million for operational units. Those reserves were as plentiful as $95 million in 2022, Morris said, thanks to COVID recovery funding. Morris said the board at that time made decisions to spend portions of those funds for capital improvements. Then the board was challenging and asked great questions about, if not now, when and how could we use those monies, Morris said. How can we use this one-time money to meet workforce needs and to provide cutting-edge science research to serve students effectively and look at deferred maintenance? Here are some of the ways the university spent reserve funds in the recent years. Building projects that also received state and federal funding. Pointing to work currently underway, Morris said that the university has used its own money for about 10% of it. There is $207 million worth of work on that slide, Morris said during the presentation. About 90% came from the private, federal, and state funds because the board was willing to invest some one-time precious reserve money, which is impacting our campus in a tremendous way. Improvements for entrance in Conference USA. A switch that enabled the university's football team to compete in the NCAA's Football Bowl subdivision. Improvements this year were made to Plaster Stadium in order to handle the technical infrastructure for a national broadcast of games. Investments in this conference is hoped to bring a higher national profile to the university, resulting in more enrollment. During a meeting of the full board of directors, Dawn Medley, vice president for enrollment management, was thrilled that the team's first bowl game is in the area of Texas where the university wants to recruit new students. Fundraising, a consultant providing resources to develop the university's current 5-year strategic plan. Establishing the Alliance for Healthcare Education, a career pathway founded by MSU, Ozarks Technical Community College, Springfield Public Schools, and Cox College. This article was by Joe Hadsell, and it was again found in the Springfield Daily News.
We are currently broadcasting live from the Blind Community Thrift Store located at 2713 North Kansas Expressway in Springfield, Missouri. For additional information about our store, please visit the website at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. You can explore more of our video content, including movie reviews with Matt and Meredith, adaptive technology training videos, and other informative materials. Please visit our YouTube channel by searching for Blind Community Thrift Store. Our organization is dedicated to supporting the blind community through various initiatives, and our online platforms serve as a valuable resource to the community. In our location at 2713 North Kansas, we also give good discounts. Veterans receive 25% off discounts every day, providing significant savings as a token of appreciation for their service. Additionally, the store features a weekly clothing sale where all clothing items are available at 50% off every Wednesday. Seniors age 55 and older benefit from 25% discount every Tuesday, making shopping more affordable for the senior community. Our next article comes from the Springfield Business Journal, and it was written by their staff. Federal grand jury indicts Springfield business owner for fraud and money laundering. A federal grand jury has indicted a Springfield business owner for fraudulently obtaining over $300,000 in loans through the Paycheck Protection Program and laundering over $35,000 of the funds. Jason L. Hemingway, 47, was charged with 2 counts each of bank fraud and making a false statement on a loan application, along with 3 counts of money laundering, according to a news release today from the Matthew Rice, the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Missouri. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, Hemingway applied for a PPP loan under the COVID Virus Aid, Relief and Economic Security Act for his business, Principal Transfer Group, LLC, in both February and April 2021. He received a total of $316,000 in PPP proceeds through the 2 approved loans. In both loan application, Hemingway claimed another individual was the owner of the business and had a monthly payroll of $63,212 and employed 25 people in February 2021 and 8 people in April 2021. All of which were false statements. According to the indictment in the April application, Hemingway certified he had received the previous PPP loan and used the full amount for eligible expenses. He also allegedly signed the application in the name of the person he claimed was president and owner, who is unnamed in the release. The indictment alleges Hemingway used the loan proceeds for non-approved purchases, including his personal benefit. According to the indictment, Hemingway transferred $11,000 of the funds into the bank account of another business he owned, 417 Print Shop, LLC, and additional $11,000 of the funds into his personal bank account, and another $13,851 of loan funds to his Robinhood account. Robinhood is a financial services company that allows users to invest and trade in stocks and cryptocurrencies. A forfeiture allegation is included in the indictment, which would require Hemingway to forfeit to the government any property resulting from the alleged fraud scheme. That includes a money management of at least $316,000 plus an additional $35,000 for proceeds obtained from the alleged money laundering scheme.
We've got a few new restaurants opening this week. In 417 Foodies News, a Mexican restaurant opens in its new location, and a donut shop teases a spring opening in Nixa. Plus, in case you missed it, a brewery is opening for a 2026 opening in its pizza kitchen. Mexican restaurant relocates down the street. Amigos has officially opened in its new location at 2259 South Campbell Avenue. The Mexican restaurant was previously at 2111 South Campbell. Its first day was December 13th and also debuted a new menu along with its new space. The menu includes favorites from previous location as well as new plates like camarones asados, grilled shrimp, and Mexican street corn and chicken wings. In 2002, Jalisco native Martin Prado opened Amigos in its current location, according to previous News-Leader reporting. Also, donut shop opening in a new Nixa location. St. George's Donuts, a local family-owned business nearing its 55th anniversary, announced it is adding a store in Nixa, according to a press release. The new shop will be in Village Marketplace at 701 North McCroskey Street and plans to open by this upcoming spring. Our customers are the reason for this growth. They understand and appreciate the difference that fresh, high-quality ingredients make in a donut, said owner Nick St. George in a press release. We are thrilled to bring that daily freshness directly to Nixa, serving more of the people who have supported us for decades. Katie and Charles St. George opened the first St. George Donuts in 1971 on the corner of Grand Street and Glenstone Avenue, according to St. George's website, then opening a second location on Scenic Avenue and Mount Vernon Street in 1982. After Charles St. George died in 1985, Katie St. George and her children continued running the shop. There are currently 2 shops open by the St. George family, one at 3628 East Sunshine Street in Springfield and one at 1415 West State Highway J in Ozarks. Tie and Timber, 1451 East Cherry Street, is planning on opening its expansion at 1459 East Cherry Street in 2026, according to News-Leader reporting. This 7,000 square foot expansion will feature a bar and the ability to sit about 200 people, as well as a pizza kitchen. Co-owner Jen Marshall said that the menu at the new restaurant will offer various types of pizza, including Detroit, which is a pan pizza with a light crust. Co-owner Kurt Marshall said that the business is still evaluating whether the brewery will continue its current policy of allowing outside food to be brought in once Tie and Timber begin serving its own food. Also, a new restaurant serving breakfast and lunch opens on West Chestnut. New breakfast and lunch cafe has opened at 2833 West Chestnut in the space formerly occupied by the Phoenix Diner Bar and Grill, as well as Missouri Mike's Barbecue. Hatch and Harvest Cafe LLC, its soft opening yesterday, said 24-year-old owner Scroden Donnie Villieu. Today is Hatch and Harvest's first day open to the public. He said that his goal was to create a casual cafe and that being a restaurateur is his family's background. I'm a first generation America, Villieu told SBJ this morning. Opening at Hatch and Harvest is the first venture he's taken as sole owner. My family's been in the restaurant business for many, many years. My parents came from Albania. My grandpa was a dishwasher. Long story short, he worked his way all the way up to being the restaurant owner. So yeah, it's in my blood. We've just been doing this all our lives. Villieu said Hatch and Harvest's soft opening went very well. We had a lot of friends and family come and surprise us, and we've even turned the open sign on, and there were a few people that just trickled in. Villieu said the menu was intended to be pretty casual, as a number of classic plates, including the omelets along with the newer kind of style dishes, such as multi-grain pancakes and the El Tapia breakfast bowl, which is comprised of chorizo, jalapeno, tomato, green pepper, onion, and queso, served over a crispy home fries, topped with avocado and 2 eggs cooked any style. According to the restaurant's front Facebook page, Hatch and Harvest also has a kids menu with breakfast items including pancakes, a cheese omelet, or an egg with bacon, with choice of bacon or various types of sausage, along with a lunch menu of grilled cheese, mac and cheese, chicken tenders, or any half-size club sandwich. Of his restaurant's location, Villieu said he grew up in western Springfield, about 10 minutes from Hatch and Harvest's location. He attended school at Willard and currently lives in southwest Missouri. I'm so familiar with the west side. I've always wanted to come back and kind of do something here eventually, Villieu said. I drive by here all the time, and I saw the building empty, and I saw a for rent sign, and I said, you know what? I'm going to give it an email. And I came in, I liked what I saw, and I just took it over. I was like, let's do it. Villieu said Hatch and Harvest employs 10 to 12 workers at this time. He said his investment in the business so far is between $80,000 and $100,000. He signed a 3-year lease with Westway Shopping Center, LLC, declining to disclose other terms of the deal. Villieu emphasized that he has a problem solver's mentality and that undergirds his approach to taking care of his guests. I really love talking to guests, he said. I like hearing feedback. I really like fixing problems. I hate when a guest leaves unhappy and I don't hear about it. He also said he's made efforts to keep prices pretty low. I kept it that way because we're just trying to be fair to everybody and give everybody a chance to come out and try us, and just look forward to taking care of everybody, Vilua said.
Our next article is from the Springfield Daily Citizen and the answer man, Steve Pokin. The reader asks, what is the big new project across from Fremont Elementary? What is the almost finished project of North Fremont? The question comes from Bob Pentecost. It's Burrell's Behavioral Health 14,028,000 square foot Youth Resiliency Center. The construction should be finished before the end of February 2026, says Rance Berger, Burrell's Director of Public and Media Relations, as well as former managing editor of the Springfield Daily Citizen. Burrell will host a grand opening in the months following completion, Berger said. A date has not yet been set. Those in attendance in 2023 included then Lieutenant Governor Kehoe, now Governor, and Bob Dixon, Greene County Presiding Commissioner. The county gave $5.35 million in American Recovery Plan Act funds to the project. Dixon said at the groundbreaking, "This was our first and largest ARPA award. The commissioners and I poured over literally hundreds of excellent applications that would have addressed very important needs in our community. As we looked at the recurring themes behind those needs, many of those spoke to one issue, the need for mental health services." The center will focus on providing mental health care for teens 13 to 17 years of age, Berger said. It will offer outpatient services, crisis stabilization care, 24/7 every day of the year, and will have a 16-bed residential psychiatric treatment center. Clients can stay on the crisis unit for up to 23 hours before they are referred to other lines of mental health care and/or resources for future care and community-based services, Joel Yule, Burrell Health Director of Youth Stabilization Services, said. Burrell provides the same service for adults. We also have the ability to reduce the number of acute hospitalizations for clients within our community and hopefully within that 23-hour period work to calm and resolve issues and send the client and guardian home with a treatment plan that keeps them out of acute placement in the home environment where they can grow. The Burrell website states, "Our vision is for this campus to offer immediate treatment and hope to families in crisis, as well as connections to the ongoing care they need." And that article was by Steve Pokin, the answer man. Next, on this day in history, in 1989, the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin was reopened as East and West Germany continued moving toward reunification. Berliners had been unable to use the gate since 1961, when the newly built Berlin Wall blocked access. In 2018, a shutdown of the U.S. federal government began when President Donald Trump declined to sign an appropriation bill. The shutdown lasted for 34 days. In 2010, U.S. President Barack Obama signed legislation to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell, the policy regarding the service of homosexuals in the military, and it took effect in 2011. In 1990, the Constitution of Republic of Croatia was granted such civil rights as freedom of speech, religion, information, and association, as well as guarantee the equality of nationalities. And that was our day in history.
Our next article is coming out of the Springfield Business Journal. We have 3 articles actually on regarding our airport here in Springfield. It's official that the airport reported a record year. Springfield Branson National Airport officially exceeded the 1 million passenger benchmark for its first time in history. The airport announced this morning that during 2018 it had 1.08 million passengers, a goal it sought and nearly conquered in recent years. I apologize for the downtime. We're going to move on to the two occupants. The two occupants walk away after a plane makes emergency landing on Highway 65. This was just this weekend. Troopers say both occupants walked away without serious injuries Saturday afternoon, December 20th, when their plane made an emergency landing on Highway 65 just north of Springfield. Sergeant Mike McClure with the Missouri State Highway Patrol said the incident happened just after 1 p.m. north of Interstate 44 in Greene County. McClure said the small private plane began experiencing engine trouble and was trying to divert to downtown airport on Division Street, but instead had to make an emergency landing on the highway, initially in the southbound lanes before ending up in the northbound lanes. The plane briefly caught fire, McClure said. McClure said the emergency landing did not cause any vehicle crashes, and crews had the highway cleaned up and reopened by 4 p.m. McClure said the initial information on the scene indicates the plane was headed for Memphis, Tennessee to Olathe. The Federal Aviation has been notified.
The next article is from the Springfield News-Leader, and it was written by Claudette Riley. Ozark Tech will open the U in August as new space for students. Ozarks Technical Community College has entered its final months of construction of the Michael L. Parsons Student Union, which faces Chestnut Expressway east of Sherman Avenue. Ozark Tech Chancellor Hal Higdon said the college expects to be able to start moving into the space during the summer and host a ribbon-cutting ceremony Wednesday, August 12th. It's going to mark the maturity of the campus, he said. The Springfield-based college was established in 1990, and much of the focus in the early decades was on building classrooms, labs, and office spaces. Demand for technical education program has helped drive the construction of new and different spaces. The opening of the union, which will be a hub for students, will trigger a shift in other parts of the campus. It will become the new home for the enhanced library, tutoring and learning services, the fitness center, the cafe and bookstore or Eagle Store. Starbucks will move into the student union, and Ozarks Tech has reserved space for Kraft Sushi, Hardee's, Little Caesars, and more. You're going to see a lot of moving pieces on campus. New parking also, he said. Higdon said Ozark Tech has an average student age of 20, which is traditional, and students want places to gather and study during and between classes. If you go down to Information Commons between 11 and 1, every table is full. Every Starbucks table is full. And if the weather is okay, they are sitting outside, he said. There is no place for them to be, no place to study and just hang out. The U is going to give us that breathing room. The exit of certain student-centered services and amenities from the Information Commons, a redesign is in the works for the central administrative and classroom building. The changes will provide more room for growing programs such as sports and culinary arts and make it easier to traverse through the hallways and commons area. It will also allow the college to bring offices that work together into closer proximity. We're going to try and smooth out the flow of the building, he said. A series of new spaces have opened up in recent years, including the Robert W. Plaster Center for Advanced Manufacturing, the Roy Blunt Aviation Training Center near the Springfield Branson Airport, and the Agriculture and Electrical Distribution System building at the Richwood Valley campus. We have more technical and health sciences degrees than any other community college in the state by a huge margin, he said. This work near the Student Union includes a new outdoor plaza, signage entering the campus at Sherman Avenue and Chestnut Expressway, and a clock tower. The News-Leader recently asked Higdon about what other big changes are planned for 2026 and beyond. This year, the public relations, marketing, and communication staff will move out of a smaller building along Central Street, just west of National Avenue, and into the Information Commons. We're going to tear that building down and turn that into a parking lot, he said. Higdon said he plans to go to the Ozark Tech Board of Trustees with a proposal to build a new parking lot. The college recently built one on the north side of the campus near Pythian Street and Hampton Avenue. In recent years, the college has reported maintaining roughly 2,500 parking spots on the Springfield campus. He said the college owns most of the property to the east of the new parking lot, including the former Mount Carmel's United Methodist Church property along National Avenue. The college looked at ways to use the existing structure, but has decided against renovating the property. It will eventually be torn down to make space for more parking. The old part of the church, it would take more to make it usable than it is worth, he said. In recent years, the college has upgraded the existing parking lots to include more lighting, Wi-Fi, and closed-circuit cameras. Higdon said given the growth of the Springfield campus in terms of enrollment and facilities, it is time to explore the possibility of a parking garage. He said the college needs to hire an engineer to look at the best location and the potential costs, which initially has been estimated at $5 million or more. As a starting point, the college has identified 3 possible locations: along Chestnut Expressway adjacent to Graff Hall, on the surface parking lot directly north of Information Commons, between Central Street and Pythian Street on the north side of the campus. Surface parking is much more inexpensive, but we are running out of property, Higdon said. No decision has been made. We're not taking anything to the board. We are just exploring whether or not a parking garage would make sense. Higdon said Graff Hall, one of the 2 founding academic buildings on the Ozark Tech campus, may eventually be demolished. He said the building materials used for that structure do not meet the standards required today. We've been holding it together, he said, of the building on Sherman Avenue. It may be 10 years, but at some point in time, it would go away because we really need parking on that side of the campus. Currently, Graff Hall houses the college's Adult Education and Literacy Department, associated classrooms, and has been home to the Information Technology and Networking Technology departments.
This article is coming from Springfield Business Journal. So it was submitted by Karen Crago, and it was just yesterday. So tariffs mean a surge in business to a company with a Springfield manufacturing hub. ABEC Inc., manufacturers of stainless steel containers for biopharmaceutical production, is in growth mode with its 55,000 square foot Partnership Industrial Center East manufacturing facility, looking to hire 100 new workers in the next 6 months, according to the company officials. While one of the stated goals of the current U.S. tariff policy is to reshore domestic manufacturing of imported goods, for the most part, that has not materialized. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics mid-November jobs report reflected 67,000 jobs lost since tariffs were initiated by the Trump administration on April the 2nd, as analyzed by the Center of American Progress. ABEC Inc. is proving to be an exception, according to David Rideout, Global and Director of Marketing. A lot of biopharma is being pointed back to the U.S., and it's created some huge growth opportunities for us. The company is in growth mode, said Matt Ryan, ABEC's Vice President of Global Services and leader of the Springfield site. He said 240 people are employed in the Springfield plant. Globally, there are around 650, he said, and by the middle of June, he would like the Springfield number to be 340. We want to do some massive hiring and continue to work through a lot of U.S.-based projects that we have coming our way, and that's a huge backlog for us right now. From its 55,000 square foot manufacturing plant in PIC East, ABEC sends its specialized stainless steel pharmaceutical equipment throughout the world. The focus of the factory is exclusively biopharmaceutical, using ABEC's vessels built on the factory floor in Springfield, then shipped and reassembled in plants all over the world. Pharmaceutical companies produce vaccines, antibodies, recombinant proteins, and gene therapy products, according to ABEC's website. While the 51-year-old company is headquartered in its historic steel town of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Springfield serves as its most active manufacturing hub. Smaller manufacturing facilities are located in Bethlehem and Wilson, North Carolina, as well as 2 locations in Ireland. There is also a business development office in Shanghai, China. ABEC officials declined to disclose revenues for the privately owned company. Estimates widely vary on online sources, with both ZoomInfo and RocketReach pegging annual revenues at roughly $128 million. Ryan said ABEC has about 75 clients worldwide, some with multiple locations. Company officials say the claim that ABEC is the only company in the world offering large-scale stainless steel single-use bioreactor designed for manufacturing medicines from living cells. The assertion is backed up by the trade publication biopharmaceuticinternational.com, which points out that ABEC provides vessels sized greater than 2,000 liters, though the journal notes that the adoption of single-use bioreactors is growing. Within the vessels produced by ABEC, officials say cells can be cultivated in a sterile, controlled environment to produce therapeutic proteins. Most notably, the company produces customizable single-run vessels, CSRs they're called, that allow for the insertion of disposable containers within. As ABEC officials explain, the disposable inserts permit efficient changes for the manufacturing that happens within the tanks, speeding up processes for their customers, which include some of the largest pharmaceutical manufacturers, among them Eli Lilly and Company, Regeneron Pharmaceuticals, and Johnson & Johnson. The receptacles are available in sizes up to 7,000 liters for liquid mixing systems and up to 6,000 liters for bioreactors. And the ABEC website says that even the largest disposable container can be installed by one operator in less than an hour. Ryan says that typically when a process is finished with a stainless steel vessel, it must then be emptied and sterilized, but the CSR allows the old insert to be removed and disposed of and a new insert to be inserted. That means manufacturing can start up again immediately. He added that ABEC is the only stainless steel company in the Springfield area that devoted exclusively to the biopharm industry. A dip into the Springfield Business Journal archives shows 2009 reporting on other stainless steel manufacturers serving the pharmaceutical industry. Paul Mueller is named as our stainless technology and custom metalcraft. That coverage noted the companies are experiencing a dip in sales because of a drop in demand. Of course, COVID-19, still a decade in the future, would generate its own demands for products. Unlike other local steel manufacturers, ABEC does biofarm and nothing else, Ryan said. We won't do any holding tanks. We won't do any food and beverage, he said. That allows us to focus on one standard, which is the highest, and not deviate up and down because any issues in the manufacturing that way. Clients are all over the world with work in Switzerland, India, the United Kingdom, China, and elsewhere, Ryan said. Ryan attributes the company's growth to good customer relations. A lot of what is due to really good relations with some really good customers, he said. We try to partner with these guys and create a solution for them that's one, customizable, but two, meets all their needs. Workforce pride. A strong company culture is vital, Ryan said, noting that ABEC employees are proud of the important work they do. He offered the example of a vaccine producer in India struggling to meet the vaccine demands of the coronavirus pandemic in a country of 1.4 billion. It wasn't a matter of if ABEC didn't take the job, someone else would step in. Ryan said, no one else could meet the timeline that was requested. We jumped in and within 6 months have some life-saving equipment go into India that produced COVID vaccine. It undoubtedly saved lives and is credit to the great people that we have in Missouri that busted our butts and worked overtime to make that happen. The company has also been in the cutting edge of revolutionary Alzheimer's disease medications. When these biopharmaceutical companies have a new drug in the pipeline that is life-saving and cutting edge, they need to partner with somebody who can help them in an extremely quick manner. That's one of the great things about ABEC. When you ask us to hit a date, we commit to that date, and we partner with those guys to make that happen and help those companies achieve with quick execution. He added that many of ABEC's associations have loved ones impacted by Alzheimer's, and some took very personal satisfaction in making it possible for a company to produce a drug that stops the progress of the disease. Ryan says it's exciting to work in a company that is always looking for the next innovation. He's adding that flexibility is key, as is having a motivated workforce. We have guys that understand that our product means out in the marketplace, and that it's going from a 40-hour work week to a 50-hour work week, or sometimes a 60-hour work week. They have to get it done. They have that get it done mentality. Rideout added that because ABEC is a private company, it can build capacity ahead of time to reach its company's needs rather than reacting to financial markets. Rochelle Yoap, ABEC's Human Resources Manager, is the person who is charged with the task of onboarding 100 new workers in the next half year. She said pay begins at $21 per hour for new workers who may be familiar with tools but have no experience in the field. ABEC will train, she said, noting the company has a work-to-learn program that allows people to skill trade, school, and learn skills on site. Yoap said salaries go up from there for skilled workers like many welders and grinders employed by ABEC, and benefits include 3 weeks paid vacation from the start of employment and a 40% contribution to 401k. This article was submitted to the SBJ by Karen Grego on December 21st. Back to Gay.
As we head into a holiday week, many people are wondering what they're going to do if they don't have plans on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. There are several Springfield restaurants that are going to be open for Christmas dinners, according to Susan Zach from the Springfield News-Leader. Open Christmas Eve, which typically a lot of businesses do close early, will be Allie's Family Restaurant on Chestnut, Amazing Buffet, Applebee's, Billy Gale's, Cabo's Bonita Grill, Cracker Barrel, Denny's, several of the Domino's Pizza locations, Flat Creek, Golden Corral, Hibachi Steak and Sushi, Hooters, Kearney Street Cafe, Rebar Tap Room, Red Lobster, S&L Donuts, Sakura's Japanese and Sushi Restaurant, Sam's Southern Eatery, Springfield Family Restaurant, Storm and Crab, Thai Express, and the Waffle House locations. Open on Christmas Day also will be Allie's Family Restaurant, Amazing Buffet, Applebee's, Asian King Buffet, Billy Gale's, Cashew Station, China King, Denny's, most Domino's locations, El Pablo Grill and Cantina, Flat Creek, Hibachi Steak and Sushi, and Nuab Indian Cuisine, Red Lobster, S&L Donuts, Sam's Southern Eatery, Springfield Family Restaurant, Storm and Crab, Thai Express, Village Inn locations, Waffle House locations, and Zakaya Indian Cuisine. Continuing on the food route, there is a local man who fights loneliness with 24 donuts and an open door, according to Jeff Kessinger and the Springfield Daily Citizen. Christmas isn't necessarily a big deal for Kelly Cavalli. There are no family gift exchanges or children to entertain, and he's okay with that. Not everyone is. That includes one of Cavalli's friends who doesn't have family in the Springfield area. They kind of get depressed around the holidays, he said. So I started thinking, there are a lot of people that are actually in the same situation where they live here because they've moved here for college or something like that, or just don't have any family left in the area. That thought inspired him to plan a Christmas Day get-together open to anyone and everyone looking for some company. His 6th Christmas Day hangout is scheduled for 11 a.m. December 25th at Hertz Donut Company at 1231 East Sunshine. Loneliness can intensify, so now it's a mission for Michael. A national provider of mental health treatment says that loneliness has quietly become one of America's most widespread public health issues. It's magnified during the holiday season, leaving people dreading a time that is meant to be joyful. A survey by AM/FM estimates that 234,781 Missourians will spend Christmas alone this year, making the Show Me State the 18th loneliest state. In total, an estimated 14 million Americans will spend the holidays by themselves. Reasons vary from not celebrating Christmas at all to living far from family or friends and not being able to make the trip. AM/FM says 25% of people who spend Christmas by themselves feel lonely, while 22% feel sad and 9% report being overwhelmed. We often think of Christmas as a time of joy, but for many people, it becomes a mirror of everything they feel they're missing. Anita Ahmed Mehta from AM/FM's executive director said in a press release, "Loneliness doesn't take a holiday, but neither does hope. And the more we normalize these feelings, the easier it becomes to reach out, speak up, or simply take the pressure off of a perfect Christmas." Gavelli doesn't try to make it a perfect Christmas. He just wants to give people a place where they don't feel alone, and he keeps his invitations broad. I don't want to specifically mention anything because some people have that stigma attached to those like depression or mental health issues, he said. So the first year, I made sure everybody knew it was just something where they could just show up if they didn't have anything to do. There's no judgment. It's just a place to hang out so you're not home sitting alone by yourself on a Christmas morning when everybody else is busy doing something. The first Christmas Day hangout was at Waffle House, which turned out to be a less than ideal location. We found that was not a great place to go because they are super crowded on a Christmas morning, Cavelli said. On the way home, I saw Hertz Donuts and remembered that they're also open 365 days a year. So the next year, instead of going to Waffle House, where it was crazy, we went to Hertz Donuts, where they were also open, but there were less than 4 or 5 cars in the parking lot. That friend had in mind when he planned to hang out. They didn't show, but other people did. Cavelli estimated around 20 people showed up each year. I'm kind of helping take care of my friends, Cavelli said. We never know how much something could mean to somebody, what their struggle is in a day, or how they're feeling in general. A lot of that stuff kind of gets hidden. Even your best friend doesn't necessarily tell you what's going on in their life at times. So it was just a way to create something for me where I knew nobody was sitting by themselves at their house and sinking further and further into that feeling that nobody's here for them. Cavelli always buys the first 2 dozen donuts for the Christmas Day hangout. He said he wants to make it as simple as possible for people to attend. If your paycheck is short because it's the holiday and maybe you've been sending money to family that isn't in this area, then no pressure, he said. Also, Cavelli asked if that people leave any drama at home. That's not what Christmas is for. It's time for us to get together, take all of that tension off things, and just have a good time socializing with people and not being alone, he said. It's to take the loneliness out of the holiday for people who don't have anyone around. There are a lot of people who show up and I only see them Christmas Day, but they're still welcome. There's still somebody that appreciates their presence as well. That article was from Jeff Kissinger.
I have a couple articles on the local schools. Logan Rogersville hired Fordland principal as an assistant superintendent. The Logan Rogersville School Board hired Jason Dewey, a middle and high school principal in Fordland, as the district's new assistant superintendent. The hiring was approved during the mid-December board meeting. Dewey will replace Assistant Superintendent Jennifer Katzen, who had strong ties to the district and plans to retire June the 30th. The next assistant superintendent is also deeply connected to Logan Rogersville District. He has lived in the district for 17 years. His wife, Sarah, is a gifted education teacher in Logan's Rogersville, and their 3 children are enrolled in the district. They have been visible at their children's school events. I'm honored for the opportunity to serve the district that has been home to my family for many years, Dewey said in a December 18th news release. I look forward to strengthening community partnerships, leading initiatives that support the continued success at the LR district. As a parent of 3 children who attend schools in the district, I am thankful for the opportunities LR provides to all students. Dewey has more than 20 years' experience in public education. For the past 8 years, he has been the head principal for grades 6 through 12 in Fordland and Seymour. He was previously a teacher, head baseball coach, and athletic director at Norwood High School. Then in the Republic School, the Superintendent Matt Pierce is retiring, and the next leader has been named after 30 years in public education, including 13 leading the Republic School District. Superintendent Matt Pierce will retire. Pierce, who grew up in Springfield, spent 7 years as assistant superintendent in Republic before moving into the district's top job 6 years ago. The school board accepted Pierce's retirement notice during the December 18th meeting. The growth that we've seen as a district, all the wonderful things that we've done, it has been absolutely humbling to be part of that and something that has fulfilled my heart and provided me joy, he said in a video sent to the Republic School District. As part of the announcement, Pierce said he plans to keep working after retirement, but has no official plans at this time. My wife and I are expecting to be first-time grandparents over the winter break. That will certainly be a new chapter for us, he said, but I can also tell you that we will continue to live and work in Republic MO. At the December 18th meeting, The board named Tyler Overstreet as the next superintendent. The Assistant Superintendent of Academic Services will start the new role July 1. Dr. Overstreet is an incredible person and a great leader, Pierce said as part of the announcement. I look forward to watching Republic schools soar to new heights under his guidance and leadership. Overstreet has served in education for 19 years, 11 of those in Republic, 6 as assistant superintendent and 5 as principal at Republic High School. The Republic, Missouri community, or REPMO community, means so much to my family, and I am grateful for the opportunity to serve students and staff in this capacity, said Overstreet in the announcement. Dr. Pierce has led with integrity and heart, and I am excited to build that foundation as we continue expanding opportunities for students and supporting the dedicated staff who make that work possible. Overstreet taught social studies and physical education at Logan Rogersville and then served as assistant principal and activities director at Springfield's Glendale High School. Pierce started his career in Springfield Public Schools as a social studies teacher and coach at Kickapoo High School. He served as assistant principal at Hillcrest High School and assistant principal, then principal of Carver Middle School and principal of Glendale High School. He and his wife Yvette have 3 children, Logan, Emma, and Audrey. Pierce said he still has 6 months of work ahead. I'm not done yet. In January, we'll come back and we'll hit the ground running, he said. The Republic District has launched a search for the next assistant superintendent of academics. This article again from Claudette Riley of the Springfield News-Leader.
Another school-based article by Claudette Riley from the Springfield News-Leader. Ozarks School Board President Amber Bryant launched a discussion about class rank at Ozark High School by offering background and an apology. The district switched from a ranking to a non-ranking system with the 21-22 year, but a board decision in May to give high school students access to their class rank and GPA, coupled with unclear messaging, created confusion. Our intent at the time was transparency. It was not to unintentionally or unknowingly change the district policy, because whether or not we are ranking or non-ranking school is actually a board policy, Bryant said, referring to the policy IKC in December 16th board meeting. It became clear that our directive was implemented in a way that had a broader implication than we understood, and that breakdown is communication and rollout in us as a system. Even though Ozark stopped numerically ranking students based on their GPA, it was still internally calculating class rank and providing it directly to colleges and universities with highly selective admission processes, typically the Ivy League institutions if requested. That came to the attention of district parents, including board members, who asked in the spring that students be able to access their internal data. The new access this year and confusion over what it meant created concerns. A month ago, high school officials and students asked the board to review the existing policy and clarify its stance. 2 seniors who did not gain access to the data until this year told the board they found out how they ranked among peers too late to make significant changes. Bryant said that request prompted the board to put the issue on the December 16th agenda. There was confusion, and we need to set it straight. The board unanimously revised policy IKC to affirm the Ozark High School is a non-ranking institution, meaning class rank is not used or reported to recognize students' academic achievements. But the district also made clear students will continue to be able to access their own data. If we, as a district, are keeping the information of rank and GPA, we have to, by law, share that with the students, Bryant said. Board member Christina Tonson said given that certain colleges ask for GPA and rank to determine admission and scholarship, providing access to students is the right step. If your rank is being told to someone, you would want to know what it was too, so you could make adjustments in your planning, so you could decide what kind of courses you are going to take, she said. In addition to seeing class rank and GPA in the student information system called PowerSchool, a student can request the data be sent to colleges on an official transcript. Board member Dustin Kirkman said the intent was to grant access and not create confusion. Sometimes we are saying the same thing or attempting to, but the understanding can be quite misleading. Asked by a student what the change approved in May was not Asked by a student why the change approved in May was not clearly explained, Bryant acknowledged the frustrations it created and apologized. It should have happened in a way where it all was explained, and after we realized that, we have learned and we are moving forward, she said. Going forward, the high school will continue to use an honors system to recognize graduating seniors. An achievement as summa cum laude, magna cum laude, and cum laude levels will be celebrated at commencement and noted on diplomas and transcripts. A summa cum laude graduate earns a 4.0 GPA or higher after 7 semesters of high school and scores above the national average on the college readiness ACT or SAT exams.
This is from the Springfield Business Journal again. Open for business, the local Republic Market. There's a few businesses listed here. The local Republic Market, acting for her passion for health, local food, and supporting the community, Amy Forrester opened Local Republic Market LLC on October 1st. She co-owns the 224 North Main Street Republic venture with her husband Clint. Local Republic Market focuses on offering local sourced products from farmers, makers, and small businesses. Vendor spaces are available for $20 a day, Forrester said, adding products sold included baked goods, coffee, dairy, meats and produce, as well as household supplies such as lotions and soaps. She declined to disclose startup costs and lease terms. Forrester said she hosts a small farmers market on weekends for which vendors can set up inside or outside. And she added that food trucks also are on site. Additionally, she allows a 2,400 square foot space to be used for activities such as mobility and painting classes. Forrester said she wanted to create a one-stop shop for a myriad products while also supporting small businesses by providing low-priced venues to sell their wares. She may be contacted at 417-571-5992 or emailed at localrepublicmarket@gmail.com. Backyard Pyro. Begun in 2022 as an online-only business selling fireworks, Backyard Pyro has launched a brick-and-mortar location at 71 Endeavor Drive in Rogersville. Jason Neely, who co-owns the venture with his wife Jessica, said the Rogersville shop opened June 27th to take advantage of 4th of July sales, but then closed temporarily to finish up construction on a portion of its building. He said that it reopened December 15th with startup costs around $750,000, including the purchase of the property, construction, and product acquisition. Neely said having a year-round permanent retail space was a long-term goal, and he added that the 6,000 square foot Rogersville building includes its retail, warehouse, and office space. He said Backyard Pyro, which sells professional and consumer fireworks and equipment, also operates several tents in the summer in the Springfield area. The business continues to offer online ordering with curbside pickup and can ship products across the country, he said. He can be reached at 417-227-0291, and their website is backyard-pyro.com. 7 Brew Coffee. The newest Springfield area 7 Brew coffee shop opened with its October 16th ribbon-cutting ceremony in Republic at 1234 U.S. Highway 60. It's the first Republic location for brothers Chris and Branson Sebald and friend Larry Wilson, who are company franchisors via Brew Crew LLC. Brandon Sebald said startup costs were roughly $1.5 million for the 510 square foot coffee stand, which employs a staff of around 60. Sebald said the Arkansas-based franchise now operates 72 locations across 4 states. That includes the first 7 Brew shop in Ozarks, which opened in November. Additionally, Sebald said that the company in 2026 is planning its 8 7 Brew locations in Springfield, as well as its first in Nixa at 415 North Massey Boulevard. According to its website, 7 Brew now has 632 shops in 38 countries. In 38 states. This shop has dual drive-through lanes with a menu including iced and hot coffees, Italian sodas, energy drinks, shakes, smoothies, and teas priced $2.50 to $7. Their website is 7brew.com. This article was submitted by Mike Cullinan, reporter for the Springfield Business Journal.
The Blind Community Thrift Store is a spacious 17,000 square foot thrift store located in Springfield, Missouri. It holds the distinction of being the first retail store worldwide to incorporate NaviLens technology, which significantly enhances accessibility for the blind, visually impaired, and non-English speaking individuals. This innovative system enables customers to navigate and shop with minimal assistance, fostering independence and confidence. The store operates as a nonprofit organization dedicated to generating funds that support the provision of adaptive technology training for the blind and visually impaired community, often at little to no cost. Visitors can learn more about the organization and access its services by visiting the store in person at 2713 North Kansas Expressway in Springfield, Missouri, or by exploring the website at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The website offers comprehensive information about the store's mission, services and opportunities for community involvement, as well as details about the free store available to residents in the Springfield area. From our Springfield Greene County libraries, according to the Springfield Business Journal, here's a look at 2025. As we turn the page into the new year, we are putting the finishing touches on the 2024 annual report. We are proud to serve Greene County, and the numbers speak for themselves. Here are a few highlights as reported by Vicki Hicks. There are 103,604 active card holders in the library district. The outreach staff conducted story times in 87 different off-site locations across our community, totaling 1,453 hours of outreach for children who were not able to visit a library. Beside offset story times, the outreach department also had 44,306 people attend library programs throughout the community. The library hosted 4,200